don't really recall what happened, but may have won the Oscar for Best Actress this year for a very great movie that I saw called The Eyes of Tammy Faye, also based on a real person.
Oh, okay. Tammy Faye. Yeah, so this lady likes doing real people movies.
Lady likes doing real people movies.
Hey guys, y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, and I'm back again, joined here for another episode of this series where we talk about things we haven't seen with one another, and I'm joined once again by one of my many brothers from one of my many mothers, one of my best friends on the planet, Bill Smith. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, sir? What's going on?
Yes, I'm doing good myself. Can't complain. You know how it is. But yeah, so this series, what we've been doing all the things, this is the second episode of it, where we pretty much expand one another's like video scene catalog and like, hey, I saw this movie, I had some thoughts, what do you think, do you have thoughts, stuff like that. Last episode was Hamilton. You can check that out, and I had a lot of great thoughts about it. This
award-winning, culturally renowned.
I told you I wasn't sure. I was going to say, yeah, Hamilton, fantastic. And I was like, this is fantastic. And he's like, all right, what do you got for me? Because we're going to trade off. And I was like, I don't know how to respond to something that culturally renowned that this man hasn't even seen. So rather than go for same level of cultural renown, I went with something I had seen recently, and it was also that, and the main thought point I went on, aside from, I'm on the spot and I hadn't thought about this deep enough, was this is also based on real life events. And I had a favorable memory, it was remembered favorably in my head when I said it. So I was like, yeah, Molly. So I suggested the movie
Remembered favorably.
I remembered it favorably. There we go. And I was like, God, yes, this movie, Molly's Game. It's a movie about the former almost Olympian turned poker princess Molly Bloom, or her brother was Jeremy Bloom, the skier, who was an Olympian, gold medalist, ridiculously great thing, and apparently had another brother that was super duper smart.
Yep.
Digging the Tap, by the way. I just saw it like
the what? Oh, the Tat.
Yes, digging it. Yeah, I saw the post about it. It was awesome.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yes, so I'm like, yeah, let's do the Molly's Game. Now, I remember, Idris Elba's a great actor. The lead actress, I liked her.
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain. Thank you.
Nominated, and I believe, let me confirm, because there was a little event at the Oscars this year that kind of overshadowed everything.
Just a little bit.
And so I don't really recall what happened, but may have won the Oscar for Best Actress this year for a very great movie that I saw called The Eyes of Tammy Faye, also based on a real person.
Oh, okay. Tammy Faye. Yeah, so this lady likes doing real people movies.
Lady likes doing real people movies. Yep.
There's a quote for you. This lady likes doing real people movies.
Uh-huh.
Omari Ellis. But yeah, so I
Let's
was
see.
like,
Yes, Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, a
Jessica
movie that I saw
Chastain.
that she was incredible in. Very good movie.
So yeah, Jessica Chastain. Thank you. I should have done better about memorizing the name for her, but I recognize Idris Elba. Her father was played by another guy who's in every fucking thing.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
And boy, did he play a dick in this movie.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
So
first you think he's a dick, and then spoilers, you
he's a
find out that
dick.
he cheated on his wife their entire relationship. And and you're like, oh my god,
No, he is a dick.
You're evil.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's a dick. Okay, because he's hard on his kids, but oh, no, you're evil. Oh, well, they have
Yeah.
a reason to hate you aside from that you don't understand the stern dad that wants this. Speaking of the Oscars, I did see King Richard, which also kind of took precedence at the Oscars because the best actor were awarded to the main character from that.
I did not end up seeing that. I was kind of planning to, and then now I probably won't.
I'm not gonna. It wasn't something that I was gonna put.
Not that I'm like boycotting Will
No.
Smith or anything, but
No.
like I don't need to see his face right now. I've seen his face so much in the last couple months.
To be fair, it's not like it's not something I was like planning on. Oh, I suggest this because I would have to watch it all the way through because I kind of saw it like at work, you know.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, that's so background on the film. Like I said, it's about Molly Bloom, a woman who ran a poker game in L.A. as well as New York, illegal poker games. One of them more illegal than the other, which they get into the movie, and it's about
populated by mega movie stars, directors, business owners, CEOs, politicians,
like
elite people who can afford hundreds of thousands of dollars a night in losses.
$200,000 buy-in. I think one of the the New York game was like $200,000 buy-in.
Yeah,
yeah, you had to show up.
By the end of the movie, the stakes had gotten to like millions of dollars per night.
Yeah, which is why it eventually became illegal. But yeah, so and I first saw this movie. It was on in the background at work. Some old people in one of the rows who had control of the remote turned the TV, Netflix onto it, and I, in what little passing, I was like, this seems interesting. I'll watch this when I get home. I went home and watched it. It was a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, yeah, all right. Because it kept my interest for the movie and everything. But yeah, any reason you hadn't seen it or anything? Why hadn't you seen it?
Well, after you recommended it, I realized that at work, I have a friend, coworker named Tom who loves movies, loves TV, acts in local theater productions, things like that. We talk about movies a lot. At one point, when we were on an Aaron Sorkin discussion, no, it might have been when I came in and was like, hey, so I just watched Eyes of Tammy Faye, and this Jessica Chastain lady, wow, she's awesome. He might have at that time recommended this movie.
Okay.
That event that maybe happened is the only other time that this movie has been brought to my attention.
Fair.
And that's why
I if I hadn't have seen it at work, I wouldn't have seen it at all. Like if I hadn't have heard about it at work, because I would have just seen the little still and just said Molly's game, and I'm like, oh, it's probably murder mystery, or she's gonna murder everybody in that room just based on the little still. It's just her leaning against the wall looking at some people while wearing a dress. I'm like, what is she, like torturing these motherfuckers? But no. So yeah, dude, you never know what to think with these movie posters. You got the it could be anything, just Molly's game, pretty generic title. But yeah, so what were you expecting going into it though, with what little you had heard about it?
I didn't do any pre-research
Okay.
in between you saying this is the movie that we're doing next week and me watching it last night.
Oh, did I not give you a little stuff like it's about a woman with a poker game?
I think you gave me that. I
Okay.
don't I don't think at the time you told me it was a true story. I think I
Thought I
only
did.
okay, maybe I just didn't internalize it.
Mm-hmm.
Um the machine. Anybody who does happen to actually watch this beyond me and Omari, I'm so sorry for the uhs and ums. At one time, people paid me to professionally be on the radio. I don't know how I did that a decade plus ago. Anyways, I believe the only thing I knew going into this was Poker Game, Idris Elba, Jessica Chastain.
All right. So that's what you were expecting.
And while we were talking, I that's wrong. While we were discussing it last week, I did throw it into IMDb and saw that it was written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. So I at least had the going in knowledge that the script was probably going to be pretty solid.
Most notable Aaron Sorkin thing.
Most notable Aaron Sorkin thing, I mean, he really hit the scene with the West Wing.
Okay.
But
There we go. He's
he's worked his way into that kind of just golden ticket club
yeah.
where
I've definitely heard the name. I just didn't think of anything off the top of my head to associate with it because I'm bad with that. It's another reason why I need my
right
catalog widened.
and he was working for a long time before the West Wing also. Like he did the film adaptation for A Few Good Men. I don't know if he did the original or if the film was the original, because I know it's now a very common staged production because it's mostly just a bunch of two-person scenes. It's like the premise of it is like a lawyer. Anyway, we don't need to go down the Few Good Men train.
Okay, but no, that helps. That helps.
He-
Few Good
he's-
Men,
he's-
West Wing.
he's-
He's that level of.
He's worked his way into the club where
A lot
if
of
I
legal
make a
stuff.
movie, if I make a movie, I get nominated for an Oscar. He's like in that Spielberg,
Yeah.
Scorsese club. I know there's a couple other writers
That makes
specifically
me a
like
little
Sorkin.
bit. That makes me a little bit feel a little bit better about my suggesting of it. Because I'm not gonna lie, we got off of our little conversation. Like this is what we're watching next, and while we're still in the initial reactions or what were you expecting phase, I'm gonna say what I was
Right.
expecting. Because I was like, man, why did I suggest that movie to him? He gave me Hamilton, and I responded with with
Full disclosure, you tried to switch it to the Batman,
that's what I was.
but I had already seen
That's
the
where
Batman.
that's where I was going. I was like, why did I tell him that? I'm like, what? I had to have seen something else recently that I know was good. Oh, maybe the Bat. I feel a lot better about my suggestion of the Batman. Have you seen the Batman? Yes. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I think I just put K, but then I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna regret having said this. And then I'm like, I responded to Hamilton with this because I'm like, I don't remember enough about whether or not I actually liked it. And then I rewatched it last night because right after watching the new Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
So I stayed up hella late last night. But yeah, and you know, now that we're there, what was your initial reaction? Or, you know, having seen it now, what did you think?
To be honest, Omari, I hated this movie more than it deserved to be hated. I hated it.
Okay.
Um,
At least I didn't. At least I didn't take a friend's advice and give you something that was purposely bad. Like give you something bad on purpose.
and I'm fine with that. No, I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm fine with hating things. I'm fine with watching something. I mean, here's the thing. I am now seeing on IMDb this film was nominated for an Oscar for best screenplay.
Oh,
That could be because, as I mentioned, Aaron
Aaron Sorkin,
Sorkin is
that
an
dude.
automatic, at least on his screenplays.
I think that's the proof right there.
I don't know if he's really proven himself as a director yet, but his screenplays are kind of an automatic.
Okay.
This, there is such a good movie living inside of the idea of this film. And I don't know if it is simply comes down to Aaron Sorkin, the director, or not. I'm usually not a person who would go for so much voiceover. There is a lot of voiceover in this film.
Based off of a book, based off of her.
Right. There are a lot of scenes in this film that don't need to happen, that are just making it a 2.5 hour movie. And I can't tell you what about it other than the voiceover and some unnecessary scenes and just some drawn out scenes I disliked about it until we get to the ice rink scene. And I can tell you that I hate that scene with every core of my body.
I will agree with that. I thought the same thing
not be
last
in this
night.
movie.
I thought the same thing. Like, what is this?
It is so horrible. The green screening in it is so bad.
Come get me. Come get me.
It is awful. Why is it
that?
in this movie?
Why is that there? I don't care if you actually did that or not, but and then your dad just happened to show up. Like, you could have just been like looking at the people on the ice rink, and your dad's like, "Sup."
Right. It was a spontaneous, we were shown as the audience that it was a spontaneous event.
Yeah.
You were walking through the park and saw the ice rink way off in the distance and we're like, oh, I'm gonna trade in my $800 Gucci gloves for a pair of ice skates to borrow, and then I'm gonna go fucking nuts on the rink
for
in
no
a horrible
reason. For no
while
reason.
being green screened and like weaving in and out of people inhumanly possible.
So now
like
I
defying physics
now
to
I
weave through.
Go and look for the straight up green screening. I think the absurdity of the scene, I was not paying enough attention.
Oh my god, you got to see the green screening.
Oh my god,
it's so bad.
All right, so cards on the table. Your description of there's a good movie lying in this movie that got thrown off by other stuff. I think that's why it was remembered favorably, even though I couldn't tell you for sure. Like, even though I had that other feeling where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I suggested him something bad. Because you're right. The premise of her going through that, like, that's what it kept her story of building the game and all this stuff and how the mafia got involved and all this stuff. I know it's spoilers, but it also happened in real life. So
yeah.
So that story was interesting, and the thing that made me watch the movie was the intro where she's like talking about the worst thing that happened in sports. And, the person that said fourth place at the Olympics, because Molly Bloom, I said she was almost an Olympian. She was, during the Olympic trials, had an accident where she landed and pretty much fucked up her back to make sure she could never ski again. Worse than the first time that she fucked up her back and was told she could never ski again.
I thought for a second you were talking to me, and I was like, yeah, dude, I saw the fucking movie. I forgot that chance somebody else watches this. Like, yeah, that's in the movie. Yeah. I watched it.
So
yeah,
but
the story itself is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of that is very interesting. Her dynamic with the players is very interesting. all of the rules that she has of like, I kept waiting for the moment of like, all right, now when are they gonna make it sexual?
Yeah,
Or same with the lawyer. Apparently, the only thing fabricated for the film is the relationship is Idris Elba and his character,
really.
and the relationship with the lawyer, and just like that's really just a plot device for her
Gotcha.
to talk through things. And
Hmm.
um I don't know, what that means for what her actual representation was,
Yeah.
lawyer wise, or if she just
Because
represented
that was another
herself.
thing that was real corny when she like quoted the Crucible at the end. It's my
Yeah.
name. Now, to be fair, Idris Elba's character was even like, "Oh, so you're gonna quote the fucking Crucible at me? Watch out,
Yeah, that scene was just
dead
like
spider."
actors screaming at each, like, I'm
Yeah,
acting, no, I'm acting. And
yeah.
like,
I liked his scene where he was talking to the other lawyers, and he's
mhm.
like, "Come on, there's no reason this. Clearly, this isn't the case. I don't think you understand
Yeah.
what a
And I
kind of
always forget
person."
that Idris can do comedy too. Like
Mm.
the bits, the bit in the arraignment when he keeps telling the security guard to trade seats with him. He does that really subtly and really well, and it's
Switch.
super funny. Yeah, by the third time I was laughing pretty well at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie, and I don't know if it's Aaron Sorkin's directing. Like, I haven't really loved much of what he's doing, and it just kind of fell apart for me. I didn't.
Yeah, I can agree. Upon a second viewing, like I said, there was still the thought that all right, maybe this isn't that good, but there were things in it where I was like, yeah, I remember this could be remember. You know, I'm like, okay, I can see why I remember this favorably, but at the end of the day, rewatching it, there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, I don't ever have to see this movie again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm happy I know the story now, but I don't have to ever see this
Yeah,
movie
like
again.
I get the parallels that they're drawing, and I get how the real Molly Bloom in real life, how much it affected her, but I don't think we needed that entire ski thing in the beginning. Like, that could have been given
Especially
to us in dialogue, just
the
through some conversations about her
I
past,
was fine with the ski thing at the beginning,
when dad
if
is
for no
yelling at
other,
her and stuff.
even that. But the maybe that scene didn't need to go as long. But also that movie was trying to prove Dad is just straight up evil, and they wanted you to
Right.
think he was evil for reason A, where that's reasonably
Hmm.
evil, quote unquote.
I
And
mean,
then
the whole movie is kind of like men are evil and toxic and horrible,
that was
except
a
for Idris Elba.
that was another vibe I
Idris
got.
Elba is the shining light in the middle of
That was
darkness.
another vibe I got from it. Like, is there no good guy male character in this movie aside from Idris Elba? And then her dad's like, literally like, you know why you did this? You want to control powerful men. And I'm like, he's like, nope, nope, that's what you wanted to do.
I actually liked that scene on the bench.
I did
Like,
too.
Jen hated that one, I think, but I hate the ice rink,
I
but
hate
I
the ice
actually
rink.
do kind of like the thing on the bench,
Yeah, because
because he is right about all of the things that he's saying, and it is a good plot device to
yeah,
wrap
the
up the
issues.
characters.
But it was preceded by the ice rink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like it's a good movie that had things chip away at it until it was not, and that is what I can say about that. We mentioned some moments. Is there another particular standout moment for you?
So, standout moment would, I mean, I'm gonna remember that ice rink scene till the day I die.
To be fair,
But we've
stand out.
already
To
talked
be
about
fair,
that
you can
plenty.
stand out on a negative aspect. So yes,
Absolutely, you can. That's
that's the strong. That's the camel backbreaker.
And then I don't know, and then at whatever moment it was in the LA game when they're still in the dingy bar that I realized that Michael Cera is Tobey Maguire. That I don't even remember what the standout moment was, like what that moment was, but there was a moment where it just clicked with me. And
Wait,
then when I
what?
yeah, so here was the math that I was doing. All right, so this
Because
is
now
all
I'm
real.
curious.
This is all real people
Yes,
technically.
real people.
Michael Cera is playing a movie star.
Hmm.
My fingers have been in the movies and the TVs and all of that for a long time. I watched E News. I was a little bit of a celebrity. I was a quiet celebrity gossip junkie for a while, all that kind of stuff. And the two names that are most synonymous with underground poker scenes or any kind of really like underground fetishy
Yeah.
salacious things are Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. And so I'm doing the math in my head and I think those two things. And then I think, well, they're never going to cast Michael Cera
To be
to be
Michael Cera.
to be playing a Leonardo DiCaprio.
Also true.
But Michael Cera and Tobey Maguire kind of have a vibe.
They definitely have similar vibes.
They kind of got a vibe. And so the second that happened, like the second I finished that equation in my head, I was like, oh, yeah, it's Tobey Maguire. And also on the down low, I mean, obviously, we all love Spider-Man.
Yes.
We love Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is forever going to be one of the greatest comic book movies. I have read and heard, and this is always gossip. Like I have obviously never met anybody that has met Tobey Maguire, but I have heard that he is a dick.
Fair enough. I
I've heard
mean,
plenty of times. I've read plenty of times that he's kind of a douchebag, and it doesn't surprise me with
no.
the real Tobey Maguire that he shows. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same with Leo. Like wouldn't surprise me if he's a little bit of a
Leo, you
douchebag.
expect Leo to be a douchebag. Like I'm just saying, and
But
nothing
I get a
against, and
little bit
nothing
more of
against
that vibe
Leonardo
from
DiCaprio. I'm
Toby.
pretty sure he's cool, but I'm saying like, well, and when I say a bit of a douchebag with the you expect Leo, it's just the classic. I mean, dude's been teen heartthrob to adult heartthrob, and on top of it, ridiculously gifted actually acting. So he's just had a lot of people telling him he's the shit forever. So there's always going to be at least a little bit of ego to it, even if it is the cool kind of, yeah, he's a douchebag, but come on, it's Leo. You know what I mean? It's part of the charm or whatever.
Yeah.
Toby, I could see as that guy that literally, like you said, what Michael Cera or Player X, is the movie calls him, what that character is, I could see that. And also, I'm pretty sure one of the Oceans movies or something like that, they had a poker scene or underground like poker scene, and wasn't he an actor in that? I'm pretty sure
Um,
he was one of the
I don't
people at
know
the
if he
table.
did it, but or if somebody referred to him
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure he was
as like
like,
not coming or something. I don't
oh,
remember.
something
I don't
like that, or he
necessarily.
got
I
too
don't.
big or whatever.
Yeah, it because it was the other dude, the dude from that '70s show. That's also Tobey Maguire
Okay,
ish.
never mind. It was him.
Yeah, but so
It was
I'm on
definitely him and not Toby.
I'm on IMDb. I'm on Molly's game IMDb, and I
Oh,
go down to the trivia. Very first post. It's widely believed that Player X is based on Tobey Maguire.
fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, you're right. It was Foreman. Uh, Masterson. No, never mind. Topher Grace.
Topher Grace.
He had a similar name to fucking Toby. Because I remember when they casted him as Venom in Spider-Man 3, everyone hated it because he don't look like a Venom. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agreed. The only thing I said was, well, to be fair, I get him and Toby mixed up all the fucking time. Years later, I'm still doing it. Yeah, Tobey Maguire was in the Ocean's movie. Anyway, so yeah. No, I agree. Standout moments for me, definitely with the bad ones, is the ice skating rink. Uh and I don't know. I liked Elba's performance. I feel like came to he came to be here. You know what I mean? Like in this
Mm-hmm.
movie, I'm gonna fucking do it. I liked his character, and I did like his. I don't know. I just liked his role in. I just liked him in this. What's her name? Oh, a standout moment for you could have done this scene better, or something could have been done better about this scene, because it was still uncomfortable like it was supposed to be. But when she got attacked in her apartment, I was watching, and the guy doing the attacking just so and so. Where the money? Put the money in the bag. He didn't seem like anything. He just, yep. I'm reading lines. Someone needs to read these lines. Now I'm gonna attack you. And I'm like, you couldn't have done like a second take of that, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but it was still uncomfortable, like which it was meant to be, and it's not like every fucking thief or burglar or mafia type is gonna bust in. Do the fucking shit, you stupid. Sometimes they will be quiet, but even still, if they're quiet, it's more focused. Put the money in the
that's true.
fucking
Yeah,
bag.
I mean that scene could be a standout moment for me. That was I didn't remember it until you just said it, but I remember it now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was
Mm,
it was a well done break-in scene, and
yeah.
just the tension and
Yeah.
shit, and he was really creepy
Yeah.
because he wasn't, I don't know, he wasn't acting well. Like it was, like you were saying, it wasn't done well, almost like he was a real fucking
Yeah.
like he was really there. I don't know, it was
They
just
just got
so
a Russian mafia guy to come in and
right.
do the
And he's just like,
role.
I don't know, you get over there,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll kill you,
yeah, yeah. Put the money in the
give me the
bag.
money.
Yeah, gold bars too. Yeah,
Like, yeah, hitting her and shit. Like it was some good, like really good stunt hits and stuff. Like
yeah.
I felt those
It was
hits.
definitely an uncomfortable ass scene, but yet I also and again that goes with the whole movie that they were talking about with this. It's a good movie. There's a good movie here, but things take away from the good movie moments to where you're like, I don't know though. But yeah. So, would you play a role in this? And if so, like, what role would you want to be playing in this?
uh I'm not the lawyer. I mean, obviously there's a million different guys that you got to cast for poker players. I can be a poker player. Like I could do the Harlan character pretty
I could
well.
see you as a Harlan. The
Uh
second you said I could be a poker player, I'm like, I think you could play a mean Harlan.
but I'd also just love to be like Aaron Sorkin's assistant director, to be
Also
able to
true.
be like, Aaron, no, no, or his editor or something. No, no.
What role would you want to play in this? I would like to be the assistant director so I could say no.
Don't do that. Well, I don't want the pressure of being the director.
No, I hear you.
I've never done a fucking multi-million-dollar movie.
Oh, no, same. No, it was just funny that was the line. I just wanted, so I could just say, Aaron, no.
Aaron, no, no, don't. We don't need this. Just real quick, speculation. Players that have participated in Molly's game
All right.
include Tobey Maguire, Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Alex Rodriguez, Macaulay Culkin, Ben Affleck, Pete Sampras, the Olsen twins, Nelly, Rick Solomon. I don't know who Rick Solomon is. Yeah. Those are some of the famous people that have
Huh. Okay.
that would have been that could have potentially been depicted.
Nice. And I can see a lot of them doing that. But yeah, no, the Harlan that thing. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Uh, me, I
Yeah,
think.
what role would you play?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it in Hamilton. I have a bias when I watch these movies, where if someone looks similar enough to me, I'm going to at least kind of imagine me trying to do that role and have a bias toward it. So Idris, being the black guy with short hair of the movie and being a
Is
very
there
significant role.
Yeah, can we do a
But
is he the only black character in the movie? Do we see a black poker player at any point?
I don't think we do. Because when you mentioned Nelly, I was like, huh, I don't think there was a single black dude playing. Because when they went to New York, it became about random people, and then it was specifically try to get the Russian Jews in, which, to my knowledge, not a ton of those that are
Like,
black.
not usually black.
Yeah, there's not a
This
ton of
is
those that are
accurate.
black.
Yeah, I don't want to
Um,
speak out of turn, but
yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty confident thing to say.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, same. So
All
made
right,
sense in
so
the
it
New
does
York
not
one.
pass, doesn't really pass the black, just the blackjack.
Yeah, but I did like Idris Elba's role, and I wouldn't mind doing that. But like you said, I feel like being like one of the poker players. Hell, I would actually wouldn't have minded being fucking either Player X or Bad Brad.
I think you could have done Player X. You could have done
Yeah,
an interesting. Have you done like a villain, like a bad guy?
yeah. You directed one of them. I mean, it was short, but you directed one of them. Where I was the abusive father for it was like a scene or something. It was, like I said, it was very short, but it was a thing where you had me and I forget the guy's name, but I literally was like hitting him with the belt. I was a bad father. Like I was an abusive dad. That was
What
the whole
role are
point of
you
the scene.
doing?
That was the whole it wasn't like a whole play. That's what I'm saying. It
Right, it was
was
just
a
a scene
thing. Yeah, it was a
in
scene
like
or
acting and
two.
directing class or something.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was for, but there was an audience at one point, and I remember at one point you would joke about like, "Hey, people telling me of that them seeing you in an evil light. They never thought they could do that. I directed that." I remember that being a thing between us at a point, and I'm like, fair. Other time that I've been the villain for like an actual play was the Spiral Staircase.
Okay, yeah, right.
Spiral Staircase. I was the villain. Also, Orange Scrivello DDS was a woman beater. I was
That's
Orange
true.
Scrivello DDS.
Obviously, yeah, of
Uh,
course.
now he's goofy and haha, laugh
True.
at this
Right,
guy,
right.
but he is an asshole and technically a villain. You're not
Yes,
supposed to feel sorry for him when he gets chopped up and fed to a plant.
right.
Uh,
A
uh
musical, a musical or a horror almost doesn't count in this scenario.
well, what
Like we're
then I was an
we're
abusive dad that beat a kid on
in a scene that
stage.
I don't remember, but I directed it and I was proud of it for a minute, I guess.
So I guess since you just invalidated all three examples, no, I haven't played a villain.
Well, I think you do a good job.
Well, thank you. Other things that you would not have seen where I've done villainous, type things. It was my friend used to do a yearly. He did it for like 4 years in a row, and then he stopped. 24-hour stream where he played the Earthbound games. It's an RPG, and it's like lots of story and stuff. One of the years that he did it, I stayed up the whole time with him, and through the whole game, I was voicing the villain of that. And also on my channel, the fail
Also doesn't
fantasy
count.
thing. Yeah, I said other things that don't count. No, there's a lot that you haven't seen that don't count. Like voice acting, I did that, and then I did the voice acting for the fucking Final Fantasy IX, where I voice acted everybody in the damn game, villain and hero included. That's elsewhere on this channel.
I've seen some of that.
Yeah.
Still doesn't count.
No. Those count less than the plays,
Yeah.
which is why I bring them up. But no,
Yeah,
like
I just want a subtle douchebag. That's what I want.
Yeah, the
Like,
subtle douchebag.
Yeah. Have you been a douchebag?
Have I been a subtle douchebag? No, the closest I've come to subtle douchebag, your Tobey Maguire-esque role would have been. And no, he's not even Tobey Maguire. He's just straight up a douchebag. And
Inigo Rodrigo Montoya,
Carlos Rodriguez Montego Luisa the 15th.
the 15th.
Oh, there's a villain for you.
Hold on a second.
I get him for you. Ooh, praise Rodriguez.
Another thing I directed.
That is
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'll make you a star, kid.
I'm always the villain in Bill's story. But yeah, no, that was be a role, and or just like something goofy like the Bad Brat thing, where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those would be the roles for me. Probably prefer.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. No need to have this be an hour and 20-minute episode.
Oh.
So we kind of mentioned it.
Well, we got bits that we would be cutting out.
Yeah. I guess any other thoughts or final thoughts on this that we haven't really covered or anything on it? Talking about it because initial reaction.
Aaron Sorkin, try harder, be better. Use your free ticket to space.
Mm-hmm.
With power.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, boy.
Just like Tobey Maguire.
Other than that, Jessica Chastain, I love you.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable saying that. I'm a married man. I love my wife. I also love Jessica Chastain. Big fan now. I enjoyed you in this, despite not liking the movie.
Yeah.
Idris Elba can do no wrong.
Yeah.
A gorgeous man with a gorgeous voice who I would watch read the phone book.
So much envy for that man. And I mean that in the best way. Yeah, great. There were some great roles from the people that needed to, or there were some great jobs done.
And you know what? Shout out to Michael Cera.
Yeah.
He also did a very good job.
Yeah.
Being that subtle douchebag. I don't think we've mentioned him, but we haven't addressed his performance.
Yeah.
So just real quick, I wanted to say shout out to him. He did a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Costner also did a very good job making me hate him.
Yeah. I feel like the majority of the people who needed to be on their shit was on their shit. Because time and time again. I also like the drunk
There's
dude.
an hour and 50-minute movie in here that is so much better.
Yeah, I did like the drunk dude, the Downey or whatever.
Yeah, he's great.
His role was good too, and I love the whole come in. I wouldn't mind doing that role either. Just all his conversations started like detective novels. Victim of circumstance. Victim of circumstance. You know, Molly, I gotta tell you,
got shot on the riverbank.
I loved it.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd. Great in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so lots of great acting. Still not a great movie. Seldom that great screenplay writer / director with some great actors, and somehow didn't end up as a good movie. Those are my final thoughts. So I don't regret having watched it, but I don't
regret having watched it at all.
I don't regret. I was going to say I also don't regret having suggested it like I thought I was going to. I was totally expecting to.
It's the perfect thing to prove that I love what we're doing here because I would have never watched this. And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay that I watched it and did not love it.
Yeah.
Like that's okay. I
Same.
we kind of live we obviously live in a world of bubbles and we kind of consume what we know we're going to love a lot of times because there's so many options out there in the world. And it was a very interesting watch to say the least. Like I was able to once I was like, okay, cool, yeah, all right, okay, we're at another voiceover segment. All right, let me Google this true story here real quick. Confirm, is this Toby Maguire? Yeah, it's totally Toby Maguire. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great, interesting thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, you guys know where to find me. You can find me elsewhere here. Also on, Twitter under Giotavi. That's Giotavi. I also have a Twitch of the same handle. Um,
You got
do
an
you have
Insta?
you? I do not. I'm an adult. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're
I'm kidding.
you're a pariah on Twitter.
Pariah.
You're
Pariah Carey. Um,
that's his Instagram handle. He just revealed it.
I hope that's not actually a thing.
Everybody go follow.
You know what? If there's someone out there named Pariah Carey and it's not like a terrible person, sure, go follow them. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's where you can find me for now. If I get big enough, I'll get an Instagram. I need more interesting stuff going on that I can be like, hey, ate a sandwich, Instagram. But yeah. Bill, know where they find you? If this is the first episode they've seen with you in it?
No, I don't have an internet presence.
Alright.
Um, I'll shout out. There is a really cool, if you like folk music, there's a couple of really cool bands that are local artists here to St. Louis and Georgia. One is SGL. You can find them on YouTube as SGL Band. I believe also on Facebook and Instagram and all the things. And then the other one from Georgia is The Hollow Ends.
Ooh.
Um, both kind of in, I guess, the folky kind of genre, and they're really cool bands. Love supporting local art.
I feel like
So
I've
go give
heard
them a follow. I don't really have an internet
feel like
presence.
I've heard a song or two from their Hollow Ends. Not sure about the other, SGL, but I'll have to check them out.
Yep.
All right, cool. And yeah, drop some comments below. If you've seen Molly's game and you think it is a masterpiece, maybe we're crazy. Who knows? Let us know. Let us know what you think in the comments. We like to hear, have the conversation, keep a conversation going. You can also check out Hamilton and everything else. I'm going to have these episodes up as well as everything else on the channel. You guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, adiosness. I like that it's a different action figure.